Hey guys, it's ChannelBK. Welcome to another list. This one is just going to be for my top 5 albums of the year. I know, why is it only 5, blah blah blah. Well, as maybe some of you have known that just maybe tuned in or saw my uploads, I finally just got back onto YouTube for a couple months, so I've been trying to listen to certain albums, but I decided to just do a top 5, and I thought that the top 5 really represented what I thought was in this year of music. We are here to talk about my top 5 of the year. I'm going to contemplate if I'm going to put my top 5 from 2012 and 2013 in the comments below as well. Oh, and also, please like, please subscribe. It really does help out a lot. I'll also be leaving some honorable mentions below as well, just so I can kind of give you guys a take of what I thought of a couple other albums of the year. But here we go. So landing at the number 5 spot comes an album that I was very much not looking forward to because I just got onto this person's music, and it's definitely an album I didn't come back to all the time as much as something like Perfume Genius Too Bright, which was fighting for this spot. But as a project as a whole, it definitely was an experience. It was an album that throughout the whole project, I loved how connected it all felt, and it just was such a great tale from start to finish. And that's You're Dead, Flying Lotus. Phenomenal production, great songs on there, and this album came out with some of the weirdest and most interesting music videos of the year for, you know, Never Catch Me and Ready or Not, which yeah, let's just cleanse our brains of that super insane, creepy video. At number 4 is a rap album that was something I was looking forward to, but I didn't realize how excited I was after I listened to it the first time. It was definitely an album that I definitely kept going back to, and just in terms of the skills of the MCs and the production, everything was on top of it. And obviously when I gave this review a favorable, but as time kind of grew onto it, it definitely kind of got itself into the very favorable category. And that is Run the Jewels 2 by Run the Jewels LP. Killer Mike. Stellar album. Personal at some parts, super ignorant at others. Just great rapping and great production all around. Number 3 is a very interesting album when I first heard it, and it was definitely an album that I was hooked onto from the very beginning. Every time I listened to this album, it sort of got me emotional, and it was such an intense album, and you really felt like you went through a lot, and each song went through such a great topic, and the album as a whole just felt so great throughout the whole album. And that is Kil Moon's Benji. Super emotional singer-songwriter album, and this was definitely an album that once I got to listening to it, I definitely was like, this is gonna be somewhere in my top 5. Number 2 was another rap album that I was very high about, and it definitely was something that I wasn't expecting. And coming from the Chicago sort of, you know, the weird rap scene, he was somebody that I was very excited to hear, because we hear Chance, who I like a lot, and we hear Vic Mensa, who I think is good, but this guy just completely came with an album that any of his songs I could listen to on it, repeat listens throughout. Great concept, very cohesive, great, amazing rapping, and super intellectual when you really break down some of his lyrics. Just such an intense record, but such a great record as well. And that is the mixtape by Mick Jenkins, The Waters. And now, number 1. This is an album that I feel like a lot of you guys are going to maybe hate me for having at number 1, but it was definitely an album that didn't necessarily get all the great buzz, but it was an album that when I first heard it, I definitely was entranced the whole time. This is, again, another album that I listened to a bunch. I love the way each song went into another. In all honesty, it was an album that emotionally and just sonically I was into the whole entire time. Great vocals, great instrumentation, super chilling. In my opinion, the best album of the year, and that is Coldplay, Ghost Stories. So, what you guys think of the list? What are your top 5 or 10 albums? Leave them in the comments below. But yeah, thank you guys for, you know, kind of jumping on for these past couple months, and I'm excited for the new year, and I hope you guys have great holidays, you know, whatever you celebrate, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, happy holidays all around. My final list is going to be in the new year with the top movies, because I am going to try and see some movies. There might be maybe a video or two during these couple weeks, but if not, I hope you have a great new year as well, and I'm going to be returning to you guys with a lot of videos in the new year. I'm going to try and give you guys some awesome content. So this is Brian, and thank you for tuning in to ChannelBK. Peace out, guys.